since his humiliating loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. 2.5 years ago. Joel Casamayor, meanwhile, is 3-0 since his only career defeat, but he still feels the sting in getting beat by Acelino Freitas. Steve, the winner tonight will definitely want Freitas, and he has never looked more vulnerable.
Freitas is vulnerable. We saw that in the Barrios fight, Nick. What's interesting is that Casamayor can already claim to have a win over Freitas. I mean, that fight was decided by a questionable knockdown and a questionable deduction of a point. So, really, the winner tonight, if Freitas is number one in the junior lightweight division, the winner tonight is 1A, with a very good claim of being the number one fighter in the weight class.
The top intrigue for me in this one is Casamayor never got his world rocked by the Brazilian bomber Freitas. How is Diego Corrales, who is a destructive puncher, going to track him down? We'll see. For both Casamayor and Corrales, there's a pressing need to win now or fall out of the title picture at 130 pounds. Those are the high stakes tonight as we go back ringside to Steve Albert and Al Bernstein.
All right, Nick, as we stand by for a pair of hungry fighters with so much on the line, elusive southpaw Joel Casamayor, heavy-handed Diego Corrales, the slight favorite. The potential is there for a terrific fight. Both Joel Casamayor and Diego Corrales have ruled the 130-pound weight class, and with a win tonight, one of them will take a huge step toward regaining his former status. Casamayor was on top until dropping a close decision to division leader Acelino Freitas early in 2002. He's won 3 fights since, including a hotly contested verdict over rising contender Nate Campbell. Corrales' road back has been even tougher. After losing to Floyd Mayweather in 2001, he spent 14 months in jail for domestic abuse. Only 26, he's rebounded with 4 consecutive knockout wins, reestablishing himself as one of the most destructive fighters in the sport. Back here with my partner here at ringside, Al Bernstein. Al, I don't think there's any question that both these guys, Casamayor and Corrales, must approach this like it's a championship fight.
Well, you know, tonight in every way is all about risk-taking, and I think they really understand that, and I don't think we need to look any further than their preparation for this fight, especially the sparring partners that they engaged in. The amazing thing for Corrales is he actually sparred with Corey Spinks, who is one of the junior welterweight champions, who of course is a lefty, to emulate Casamayor. And Casamayor, for his part, was lucky enough to spar with Juan Lascano, a number 1 lightweight contender who was getting ready to fight Stevie Johnson and then beat Stevie Johnson. So these two fighters really understood that they needed to prepare. That's what they did the same, but there are some differences. For Casamayor and Corrales, well, they're about as different as two men could possibly be. One is a lefty, one is a righty. One much taller than the other. One a product of the U.S. amateur program, the other from Cuba's vaunted amateur program. And those differences extend to their keys to victory. Joel Casamayor thrives on movement. He needs to give plenty of it against Diego Corrales. And one of the ways is to stay off the ropes. He must keep this fight in the center of the ring. He's a terrific counterpuncher. He'll need to be against Corrales. We saw this against Acelino Freitas. Freitas' right hand goes wide, and Casamayor gets ready and then counterpunches effectively. This is exactly what he needs to do against a charging Diego Corrales. Against the movement at Casamayor, cutting off the ring is important for Corrales, and one way to do that is use the left hook to keep him right in front of him. And the body attack is an important staple of what Diego plans to do. He must hit the body early and often. He's got tremendous power to the body. He was able to knock Mike Davis down with a body shot. We don't expect this against Casamayor, but we do expect this kind of body attack to slow Joel down going into the later rounds.
All right, Al, it's old-time boxing the way it's supposed to be. Two former champs who want to get back to fighting for a world title, taking on the toughest opponent. And here is the man who held the IBF belt, the extremely confident Diego Corrales, who promises to have a surprise in store, but wouldn't exactly tip us off. Here he comes, one of boxing's rising stars prior to the personal problems. Had 3 dominating performances, his 3 title defenses against respected contenders, including southpaw Derek Gainer and Angel Manfredi. But then embarrassed by Mayweather in a highly anticipated super fight, dropped 5 times in a 10th round TKO. That is the last time he fought someone on Casamayor's skill level. He's had only 12 rounds since the layoff. Is this a case of too much too soon for Corrales, the guy who's trying to get back to the way he was prior to the Mayweather fight?
Well, I think it could be more of a timing issue, Steve. And, that could be important for him with only those 12 rounds in the 4 fights. Will he be sharp enough early in this fight? He is a very quick starter, needs to be a quick starter, and Casamayor is a notoriously slow starter. So early in this fight, he can't afford to be rusty.
Coming in with the camouflage outfit, 9-0 with 8 knockouts versus southpaws, including his last fight. The prevailing opinion, he'll go for the knockout, knowing a decision may be difficult to get. Casamayor has fought several hard punchers in the past without going down, unless, of course, you count Acelino Freitas, which many people feel was a questionable
Stop him when he's
knockdown.
taking down that guy, Tony.
So Diego Corrales looking very confident, very determined.
I'm on both sides, baby.
Prodigious knockout power in both hands.
His biggest moment since that Mayweather fight, so he's thinking right now about how important this match is.
He's got the big left hook and a terrific right, and he's going to try to use it a lot against this man, the former WBA champion and 1992 Olympic gold medalist, Joel Casamayor. The southpaw story well documented, defecting to the United States from Cuba before the '96 games. Lost his title after 4 defenses in a bitterly disputed foul-filled 2-point decision to Freitas. Ready to make his way in. Recently completely altered his lifestyle, perhaps overindulging in his newfound freedom following his restricted communist existence. Now a regular churchgoer, baptized before 2,000 onlookers about 3 weeks ago. Making a very, very deliberate entrance. Breaks a smile. Hasn't fought in about 8 months, so his sharpness perhaps to some degree of issue. It's a long walk. The dressing rooms are way in the back. But knowing Corrales' explosive power, Al, is this a night that we will see what Casamayor is really made of?
Well, this 32-year-old knows that this bout will determine if he keeps his place in boxing center stage. He, I think, had the best training camp he has had in many, many years. I don't think that's a wives' tale. I think that's true, and I think Casamayor is ready tonight.
The question is, has he lost any of his quickness? He got tagged a lot in a too-close-for-comfort win over Nate Campbell, his last fight. Can he avoid Corrales' sledgehammer punches? Set to size him up as we check out the tail of the tape. Corrales, who turned 26 last month, is 6 years younger than Casamayor, now 32. Corrales tall for this weight class, 3.5-inch edge in height, but only a slight reach advantage. At the weigh-in yesterday, Casamayor right on, Corrales under. Notable rules for this eliminator: no standing 8, no 3 knockdown. A fighter can't be saved by the belt any round. Accidental headbutt before the end of the 4th, and no decision after the end of 4, the scorecard. So here at the Mandalay Bay, getting set for Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, scheduled for 12 rounds. Let's get the introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the beautiful Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, we continue our action with a very special attraction brought to you by Goosen Tudor Promotions in association with the Mandalay Bay, the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser, and Showtime. This bout coming away also brought to you in conjunction with Cedric Kushner Promotions and Gary Shaw Productions. It is sanctioned by the IBF, the President Marian Mohammed, Supervisor Dr. Jack Battaglia. The IBA President and Supervisor is Dean Chance M. the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Judging this bout from ringside, from Reno, Nevada, Bert Clements. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Chuck Jampa. Also from Las Vegas, we have Glenn Trowbridge. And our third man in the ring, our referee in charge of the action, is Tony Weeks. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the IBA World Championship and the IBF Junior Lightweight World Championship Elimination. Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red and blue trim, representing Team Freedom and Miami, Florida, by way of Guantanamo, Cuba. He weighed in at the junior lightweight limit of 130 pounds even, a gold medalist in the 1992 Olympics. His professional record stands at 29 wins, 1 defeat, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF. Here is the former WBA super featherweight champion of the world, introducing Joel Casamayor. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner in this 12-round attraction, wearing camouflage trunks, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Sacramento, California. He weighed in at a trim and ready 128.5 pounds. His record stands at 37 wins, only 1 defeat, with 31 big wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked number 4 in the world by the IBF. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the world, introducing Diego Chico Corrales. And once again, our referee in charge, Tony Weeks, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of action scheduled.
Gotta go. Let's go. It's not time now.
Let's go. Okay, gentlemen, you already received your instructions. I've received your instructions. Be careful with your heads. Cuidado con sus cabezas. Okay, if he goes right here, it's okay. And if it's going to be low. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Goes right here, it's okay, and it's going to be low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. Keep everything above the waist, listen todo para arriba. I want a good, clean fight. Yo quiero una pelea limpia. Obey my commands at all times, above all, protect yourselves at all times. Escúchame, cuídate, listo? Listo, let's go. Vámonos.
The impressive bilingual instructions by Tony Weeks. Classic boxer versus puncher, slick versus strong. Casamayor, most vulnerable, early, slow starter. We saw that against Freitas, against Roberto Garcia. Often loops his lefts the first few rounds, possibly making him susceptible to Corrales' straight rights down the middle. Corrales, a tall, rangy, busy, two-fisted puncher with crushing power, very tough to hit. But how solid is the chin? That's one question mark after the 5 knockdowns against Floyd Mayweather. But Corrales salivates at the notion of a slugfest. It's not likely for Casamayor to come in and trade with Corrales. That could be a major mistake.
You know, I don't know if I've ever done this in all my years of boxing broadcasting, but I'm going to tell you something. Joel Casamayor has sculpted his body in such a way that he looks like he's in better shape. I seldom say that because it can be so deceiving. This guy had a training camp in which he put himself through the test along with trainer Joe Goosen. We're seeing the what he built. Now that doesn't mean he's going to win this fight. He's just going to nail with a big left hook. But it will tell you that he came to win.
He's well prepared, but a great physical appearance, as you know, Al, doesn't always translate into a victory. Casamayor, a slashing in and out nuisance southpaw, a pinpoint counterpuncher. who, as Al pointed out, looks to be in fantastic shape. One of the best fighters to come out of Cuba. Much more subdued than the upbeat Corrales in our meeting with them the other day. Casamayor knows that the legs are so pivotal here. Some, including Kenny Adams, Corrales' trainer, feel that Casamayor may have gotten a little old in his last fight against Nate Campbell. In fairness, he did take that fight on very short notice. 2.5 weeks to train for the Campbell fight. They took it because that's the climate of boxing today. You have to take fights when they're offered to you. It's part of the reason for this fight. You know, in the old days, you might not have taken this fight, especially for the money they're making. While it's substantial, it's not what it would have been 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. But you do it because you need to fight and you need to be effective. Beautiful, accurate countering left hook upstairs by Casamayor in that exchange. Casamayor's idea is to be cautiously aggressive in the first few rounds and try to take Corrales deep. But that's so true what you said before that flurry, that exchange. It's just the current economics of boxing. As good as Corrales' power is, he's got to be careful not to swing for the fences. So far, Corrales not cutting the ring off as effectively as he might on Casamayor, but of course, we have a ways to go here. Beautiful jab by Casamayor. I think Casamayor looks very good here in the first round. And Corrales, again, he has to be careful not to go for the home run with every punch. He's got to wear Casamayor down with body work using both hands. He's got to neutralize that speed and footwork and defense and, you know, cut off the ring, stay busy. Use the jab, get Casamayor out of his rhythm.
Okay. Very good, very good. You're seeing everything. That's what I love. Keep using your things. Keep using your smarts. Keep surprising them. Keep surprising.
You got to let him roll, man. Give me a towel, please. You got to get work, man. Take a little rinse here. More. There you go. Utilize your jab. Use your stick more, okay? Okay. This guy's trying to hold all day long. We will see a clash of heads that created that cut. What a shame, and it's in a bad spot. They came to their heads came together. It didn't look intentional. It looked like they were both just on the inside, and that created that cut. And we would assume that it was called an accidental clash of heads by Tony Weeks. And if so, it was. Yeah, if so, of course, it could impact this fight. We could be looking at a technical draw if it keeps bleeding over the next round or so like this. It didn't look that critical watching it when it happened, but you can certainly see it's over the eye.
Okay, here we go. Keep it clear.
And it could become a factor. Ruben Gomez quickly has to go to work. The cut man in Diego Corrales' corner. Watch out for those roughhouse tactics by Casamayor. We saw it in the second half of his fight with Acelino Freitas when he got very frustrated against Freitas.
Stop.
Round 2, it's scheduled for 12, a 130-pound elimination bout. Casamayor in the white, Corrales in the camouflage.
Stop. Out.
And of course, that cut bothersome to Diego Corrales. This fight would have to go past 4 rounds for them to go to the scorecards. Anything prior to that, if it was stopped because of the cut, it would be a technical draw or no decision.
Casamayor has to hit Chico while he's coming in. That's got to be part of his strategy. He's got to stuff that jab and keep him off balance.
Straight left by Casamayor. Chico Morales is doing what he sometimes does in life, and that is fighting a very mechanical, slow-paced fight in which he is not getting his punches off. And you see the left hook there. Corrales is supposed to be stepping to his left and using that left hook as a means of stopping Casamayor from moving that way. He's not doing it. He's just following him around the ring. And against a boxer like Casamayor, that will not get it done.
Casamayor looking extremely sharp. A lot of side-to-side movement, trying to confuse the hard-punching Corrales. Corrales looks like he's just trying to measure Casamayor out for one good punch.
See, there you used the hook, Corrales, to kind of try and keep him there, but then Casamayor still got to the right.
Okay, stop.
Boy, that head of Casamayor is coming dangerously close to the eye again.
Blood from above the left eye of Corrales from an accidental headbutt in the first round. As heads came together and clashed. You can see the blood there.
Well, we know that movement and boxing ability gives Chico Corrales some trouble. Clearly, Floyd Mayweather, who is a master boxer, was able to do it, and Casamayor so far is doing it.
And the blood just making life a little more difficult now for Corrales, but a guy who has been through it all as a youth involved in street gangs in Sacramento, once shot at by the police, which he described as a life-changing experience. Said anytime a cop shoots 5 or 6 rounds at you during a chase, that will wake you up. Checking himself out, you notice, on the big screen.
All right, there you go. What you got to think about is this. Relaxing good, but you're not letting your hands go. You're looking for one little shot for him. You got to use that stick, okay? You got to use the jab and use the stick. While you utilize the jab, turn the hook off of the jab and drop the right hand. The right hand is right there, but you're waiting too long to get there, okay? Quit resetting. Don't reset. Once again, utilize the jab effectively and drop the right hand.
In round one,
the hook.
This is the clash of heads that created the cut they're working on now. Wow, just perfect. And, you know, from this angle, you can almost make the case Joel Casamayor kind of knew that his head was headed to the left. We'll take a look. Not suggesting he's absolutely deliberate, but he moved that head pretty dramatically. So, still called an accidental clash of heads, of course. And the cut it created is creating some issues for Diego Corrales.
It is round 3, scheduled for 12. A high-stakes, high-risk affair. A win can open a lot of doors. The loser may go back to what might be called boxing hell.
Well, it is boxing hell when you have to fight your way back. There goes Corrales.
A left hook sends Corrales to the canvas.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me. You okay? Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's see how Corrales performs on another straight left hand. Time. Casamayor.
Come here. 1 point over here. 1 point over here.
Tony Weeks
over here.
Dumping a point from Casamayor for the headbutt.
And that was the second and third time Casamayor has done it. Now, once again, in a big fight, a controversial point deduction of Casamayor. Will that take him out of his game as the Freitas knockdown that he was disputing did? We'll see. Now, this should play right into Corrales' hands if Casamayor continues to press him because he's the puncher. We'll see.
Corrales down for the 6th time, of course, the previous 5 against the other slipster, Floyd Mayweather. A left hand by Casamayor putting him down.
And the advantage of the knockdown negated by the point deducted by Tony Weeks. So the Casamayor people sure beside themselves at this juncture.
And technically speaking, since Casamayor is a left-hander, a southpaw, I guess you would term that a left hand as opposed to a left hook that floored Corrales.
Yeah, it was a looping left. Corrales is not putting himself in a position where he can throw that left hook. Part of what Kenny Adams was talking about. And he's looking for only one punch.
Meantime, a welt developing on the right temple of Casamayor. Perhaps also the result of heads colliding, which is his doing.
You know, every time Corrales does hit Casamayor, you can feel it making some impact. It's just that he can't do it enough. He's a powerful man, Corrales. When he punches you and hits you flush, body or head. And there's a hook by Corrales after a left hand of Casamayor. So this fight is really heating up.
We approach 30 seconds left in a furious third round. See Joel Casamayor drop Diego Corrales 26 seconds into the round. And just 20 seconds later, Tony Weeks deducted a point from Casamayor. So a very interesting round to score. Straight left hand right on the neck of Corrales by Casamayor. Oh, what an interesting round that was.
All right, there you go. Defining yourself. Like I said before, you're waiting. Don't play and try to play games with it. Now, you got to move the opposite way. Move away from the left hand now, okay? In other words, I want you to move back to the left over here, okay? But at the same time, you got to turn the hook in the right hand off. Bring the right hand back up. You're dropping the right hand.
Here's where Casamayor was able to get the left hand. Boy, used the head again there, but that was literally right on the chin. Corrales is dropping his right hand. He's been hit with a lot of left hands. And we see it again where Casamayor, who's using the jab to help set that up, mind you. And that was a pretty straight punch. That was a nice, short, compact left hand that Casamayor was able to get in. And here's where we get the penalty for holding and hitting. Casamayor getting in with some good shots again, the straight left, going in there. That was pretty blatant. Oh, yeah, that was pretty blatant. And he had been warned once before, so I don't know that you can criticize Tony Weeks for taking the point, especially since he warned him.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything here from Casamayor, almost like in the Acelino-Freitas fight, pulling the head down of the opponent, headbutting. Oh, straight left hand, and Corrales down again.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, come to me. You okay? Yeah. You want to continue? Yeah. Okay. Hey, step back, go back, come on.
And this time he's hurt.
And Casamayor turning the tables on the power hitter. Diego Corrales looking to end it here in round 4. Another straight left hand right on the chin by Casamayor. There's a looping left to the jaw of Corrales. Corrales looking to come back with an answer. Talk about heart. Oh, Casamayor goes down.
5, 6, 7, 8. Venga para acá. ¿Está bien? Yeah. Okay.
Amazing drama here in round 4.
The left hook of Corrales showed up on time. Just when he needed it.
Stop. Let him go.
A round of the year candidate midway. We still have plenty of time left in this round. What else can happen?
Now the right hand getting in by Corrales, but when he throws that right, it's very low. He's leaving the opening for another left hand from Casamayor.
No.
Still over a minute left to go in this round, as you point out. So time for some more fireworks.
Corrales missing with the left.
The left hook lands again. That's the difference now. Corrales is throwing that left hook with conviction, and he's putting himself in a better position to throw the punch. That's why it's getting in. You can't beat a lefty without a left hook. No one will ever convince me, and that's why Corrales is doing better in this round.
Corrales being very brave despite being on the canvas 2 times, going right in on Casamayor and throwing those left hooks. He is unflappable.
And that left hook buckled Casamayor again. Corrales just has to step to his left and keep throwing those hooks and do nothing else.
He's doing what Kenny Adams told him to do. And he's got that open stance, giving him the ability to throw with either hand, and he does have clout in both. There's a beautiful shot by Casamayor.
An open stance that's helping him but hurt him, because that's why I got hit with the straight left hand by Casamayor. So it's a double-edged sword. Wow, what an interesting round.
Tremendous round.
Let me have a towel.
This is where Casamayor was able to shock Corrales. That was a superb straight left hand. This time, unlike the first knockdown, Corrales was really stunned. First one got him off balance. This one hurt him. He went down and looked like he was in considerable trouble. However, A big left hook would change everything. There goes Casamayor, and for the rest of the round, and this is important in the scoring, Diego Corrales was able to dominate. Boy, there's this fight in the microcosm. He wipes the cut, which is bothering him, then is able to deliver a left hook because Casamayor was just a little hasty in coming in together.
Here we go again. Casamayor, the southpaw in the white. Corrales, the conventional fighter in the camouflage. Corrales perhaps underestimating the power of Casamayor. But now Corrales coming on, particularly with his best weapon, the left hook. I asked Casamayor the other day if there's a good left hand straight down the middle by Casamayor. Another left hand, boy, that left hand's finding a home by Casamayor. A looping left that also met the chin of Corrales. Press row scoring. Oh, it's tight. As you would expect.
And what complicates the scoring of this fight is we had one round, round 3, in which there was a point deducted, but there was a knockdown. Then we had 2 knockdowns in the last round, with one fighter controlling as another fighter controlled the round before. So it's tricky.
And Casamayor down for only the second time in his career. The first one questionable with Freitas, and the close controversial decision loss. Oh, what a vicious exchange.
Casamayor's camp told us they thought he could hurt Corrales, and he has certainly done that. And much as in the Freitas fight, Casamayor, who we thought might be the boxer, has become the puncher.
The prevailing opinion was that for Casamayor to win this fight, he'd have to go to the judges. And for Corrales to win, he'd have to knock Casamayor out. But as mentioned before, Casamayor may have the ability to knock out Corrales here. What a switch.
Corrales wanted very much to go downstairs to the body of this fight. Has not been able to do it against Casamayor. And he was hoping that would slow him down. But he's not been able to really make that work. And you know, we mentioned the 12 rounds of boxing for Casamayor in those 4 matches since he's come back. We said, was that enough? Maybe the answer is no. Not just because of the level of competition, because he hasn't been in the ring enough to be sharp. And he has not really been sharp in this fight.
Well, we said earlier, question raised because Corrales has fought just 12 rounds, and certainly not the kind of competition that the Casamayor offers since the layoff. And it may be having an effect. This is a huge step up for Corrales.
Don't walk to the man. Get your rhythm. Get your rhythm working. Get your rhythm working at the same time. Don't move. I'm telling you, don't move to the left hand. Move to your left. This is your left. Move back this way. Don't move over here. Okay? Come on, baby. Let's go to work. How you feeling? Let's go to work, man. Let's work like it. I'm sorry. Come on, let's go. I'm sorry about that. But let's go to work.
You see the welt.
Yeah, you just got to be smart. In and out.
Tiene que ser más inteligente.
You have to be more intelligent.
Estamos siendo bello. Bello estamos
You're doing a beautiful fight.
Okay.
Estamos siendo bello.
You're boxing beautiful.
Está bien, pingado,
You keep going.
Sigue así, está bien desbaratado, Cepillo. El ritmo tuyo lindo, Cepillo. Bien bonito el ritmo.
Remember the Holyfield Rockman fight? It's starting to sort of take on that look a little bit.
Time in, let's go.
Bump over the eye. 6.
They've done a great job of closing the cut, though, around the eye. Of Corrales, yeah, not Casamayor, but of Corrales.
Well, this is really something. Casamayor usually gets off to a really slow start, and perhaps all that conditioning, all that tremendous sparring is paying off. Casamayor in the white trunks, a former WBA 130-pound champion. looking to get back on top. Corrales in the camouflage, the former IBF champ.
And we heard Kenny Adams, who, by the way, of course, was the trainer of one of our Olympic teams and is a terrific trainer, telling Corrales, you've got to step to your left. You're going the wrong way. You have to step to your left so that you can cut him off and then throw that hook. The other thing that Corrales is not doing, and it's the reason he's missing with the hook to the head so much, he's not doubling up. The reason you double your hook against the lefty is it's when you land that left hook to the body, it brings the hand down, then you can throw it to the head.
Terrific work rate by Casamayor. He's throwing a lot. Very busy.
Stop.
And of course, the movement is giving Corrales difficulty. The side to side, the lateral. He just never stops moving.
To me, these are the most interesting fights in boxing, where they play out in a way that's somewhat different than the normal thinking would indicate. And that's exactly what this match is doing. It's had a lot of ebbs and flows, and we've seen people doing things that are somewhat uncharacteristic.
We've had 3 knockdowns. Corrales down 26 seconds into round 3 from a left hand to the chin. Corrales down for the second time, 18-second mark of round 4 from a straight left. And then Casamayor down a minute 2 into round 4. And we've had 1 point deducted from Casamayor in round 3 for roughhouse tactics. Beautiful straight left, right on the nose. His blood coming from the nose of Corrales.
Corrales has not been more than 5 rounds in these 4 comeback fights. So he is in unknown territory, and he's firing.
The mouth, blood. Coming from the mouth, the lip, I believe, of Corrales. He is bleeding profusely. Heavy left hand, right on the head by Casamayor. Is having his way. You talk about guts and courage, and there's Corrales. Corrales fighting back now.
Every time Casamayor hurts him and gets brave, the left hook lands because he opens himself up to Corrales. It's fascinating.
Tremendous show of resolve by Diego Corrales, who's bleeding profusely from the mouth.
Que siga haciendo eso. Siéntate. You're going to knock him out.
Look at me. He's so fucked up right now. Stop it. Stop for a minute. Okay. Hey, Joel. He's done.
Estás desbaratado porque te pones a cambiar con él.
No pasa un chance on it. Let me have a towel.
Coja más chance ya.
Okay.
One more round. From the mouth.
It's bad.
Give me 1 round.
Come on, be a gentleman.
It's bad. Sorry.
Give me 1 round.
It's too bad.
Give me 1 round.
You got 2 really bad cuts.
Give me 1 round. 1 round.
It's over, and you can see the reaction. You heard Corrales say, give me one more round. He's not going to get it, and Casamayor is ecstatic. Diego Corrales pleading with the referee, Tony Weeks, and with Dr. Margaret Goodman. They kept saying it really bad, terrible cut on the mouth. And Corrales is distraught. Casamayor, jubilant.
I don't know how you can pack more drama into one fight. We listen to Corrales. He is not a happy guy.
1 round. I was there, man.
I know it's more drama into one fight. We listen to Corrales. He is not a happy guy.
1 round. I was there, man.
I know you was there.
Well, they had that problem out of it. That's the only thing, man. Come on, man. Let me take it.
Come on, Jet.
We'll handle that. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it.
We'll handle that.
Gary, don't let him stop the fucking fight, man.
Well, that is high drama in a boxing ring.
Obviously, because of geography, more fans here rooting for Diego Corrales, who's very well known here in Las Vegas. Joel Casamayor got the job done.
Great fight. Great fight, guys. Great fight.
And he did it with guns.
Hey, man, you're the
And he did it with boxing. very intelligently
I never seen him
affair
hurt. Never.
That was a good fight.
Freitas never hurt him. This guy hurt him every time he hit him. Hey,
And this certainly
there won't be no rematch. I know.
sets up the seeds for a rematch.
You would think it would be intriguing.
Let's go up to Jim Gray with the doctor.
With Margaret Goodman, the doctor. Doctor, why did you stop the fight, or what was your recommendation?
Well, number one, I think that it's possible that Diego could have a broken jaw. Number two, he had 2 really bad lacerations through his mouth. He was bleeding profusely in his mouth. That makes you in danger of swallowing blood, and you could aspirate. Very dangerous, affect his breathing.
Was it your opinion that the blood could not be stopped in time for this fight to continue?
Definitely, definitely. It was very dangerous to allow that to continue. Have someone, while they're exercising, they're going to breathe in that blood. Very dangerous for him to continue.
How much is taken into account a fighter wanting to continue, or is that not involved at all in a medical decision?
You know, that's very important, and a fighter of his caliber, of course, is very important to me. But obviously the most important is his health, and I can't allow him to have a problem with his breathing. Ultimate danger.
Final thought. An easy call or a tough call, this one?
Oh, a tough call. He's a great fighter, a great champion. It's certainly nothing I wanted to do.
Doctor, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, we'll be back with the fighters in a moment. Down to you.
Thank you, Jim. Despite the reaction by Diego Corrales, that is about as good as it gets for a ring doctor. She nailed it. Dr. Margaret Goodman. All right, let's get it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 6 upon advice of our ringside physician, Dr. Margaret Goodman. Our referee in charge, Tony Weeks, stops the contest. Chico Corrales suffering from 2 severe lacerations in the mouth. The winner by way of technical knockout, and he is now the IBA champion, Joel Casamayor.
The stoppage, of course, is done by the referee, Tony Weeks, on the suggestion of the ringside doctor, but
okay, come on.
how could you even doubt Dr. Margaret Goodman in that scenario?
What we said, just go Diego.
Let us get it back to Jim Gray in the ring. Jim.
All right, thank you very much. Diego, first of all, how are you? How's your lip and so forth, your injuries?
Hey, you know, I'm a fighter, man. That's what I'm here to do, and this is part of the job. You know, hey, what the hell?
You wanted to continue, obviously, but looking at you, and Dr. Goodman obviously has your best interest at heart. Can you understand the reason to stop the fight?
Not at all. Not at all, because I had him hurt. I probably would have finished him off this round. I mean, he was hurt real bad. I hurt him all through the fight. So I was definitely still in the fight. A little blood, a little cut. Hey, I'm not going to die from this.
Well, her concern is that the blood go down into your throat and into your mouth, and you'd have a problem breathing.
Nice.
Let's take a look at the shot here on the jaw in the last round, and tell us, Diego, from your perspective.
Well, what happened was as soon as he hit me, the mouthpiece went through my lip, and I knew it instantly. As soon as he did it, bang! A gob of blood just gushed right out my mouth. Yeah, I mean, the mouthpiece split, and I don't know if it was I had my lip underneath the mouthpiece or how I did it. The mouthpiece went through. Hey, that's a good cut on my eye too. That's some nice marks there.
You'll have those for a while to look at. In the 4th round, you went down first. You were able to somehow gather yourself, come back, and knock him down. Tell us about the 4th round and how you were able to recover and get back into this fight.
You know, I'm just an animal, man. I refuse to. I'm gonna tell you, this is the bottom truth. I don't think there are as many people that are scrappy, as gutty, and willing to go through the kind of stuff I'm willing to go through. Pain is I'm in the pain business, so I was willing to go through all that. This is my show, my time. I was ready to fight this fight. I really felt that if they let me continue, I would have stopped him. I really do feel that way, and I just.
So you'd like to fight him again?
Absolutely. I mean, how could you stop this fight? Why not let this fight go on? Hey, if I'm gutting it out, he's gutting it out. We're both gutting it out. Who gives a, you know? Who cares?
That's what the sport needs.
All right, let's hear from Joel Casamayor. Luis de Cuba will translate for us.
Go fight. Thank you.
You're a great fighter, Diego.
All right. Luis, Joel, did you think that this fight should be stopped because of his injuries?
Bueno, yo esta pelea para mí yo la gané, de ganar ese knockout y esta pelea había que pararla ya, de que del primer palo había que pararla. Pues yo sentía débil a él.
He says, yeah, he was starting to hurt him now. Every time he hurt him, he was hurting him. You know, every time he hit him, he was hurting him. So he thought that if he didn't get him now, he would get him later on. It would be no problem.
You have a welt on your head. It's been growing. It's gone down somewhat, but were you ever concerned about that? And was the corner?
¿Tuviste alguna vez, sentiste mal algún golpe?
No, el único golpe que me dio fue que me quedé parado frente a él, pero me dio, pero sé que yo tengo una queja y me paré, pero cuando fui a la esquina estaba normal.
He says the only time, you know, when I stood in front of him, you know, he hit me, but when I boxed him, gave him angles to angles, he didn't know what to do, and I was hurting him every time he was coming in.
You knocked him down in the 4th round. You had seemingly at that point were in total control, Joel, and then he came back and hit you with a wild punch and put himself back into the fight. Did you get careless, and why weren't you able to put him away?
Dice que tú lo tumbaste a él y después te dio un golpe a ti, bueno a ti, donde tú sabes si perdiste la concentración cuando te dio el golpe.
No perdí la concentración, pero me sentí como un golpe cualquiera, pero ya cuando caí en el piso, cuando te iba por 4 me recuperé rápido, estaba bien.
No, I was in great shape. I recuperated right away, you know, and I knew that if I boxed him, the knockout would come. You know, I shouldn't have traded with the guy. I knew that the game plan was to box in the first 5-6 rounds, and then from there we start picking him apart.
In English, will you give him a rematch?
¿Tú le das una revancha a él?
No, ahorita yo no voy a tomar caso si quiere una revancha,
No. We're not, listen. Right now, we don't need, like Freitas has been running from us. We don't even need Freitas anymore. We showed the whole world we're the best 130-pounder in the world. Now, hey, Morales is talking. Now, Freitas needs us. Okay, that's what I wanted. That's the reason we took the fight against the most dangerous guy at 130 pounds.
You really think that Freitas needs you now? Don't you want to fight him again, and isn't this a little bit of bravado coming out?
No, we want to fight him. We'll take him, but we wanted to fight him.
Let's let the fighter answer. Thank you,
¿Tú
Luis.
crees que Freitas ahora quiere pelear contigo o que tú crees que tú quieres pelear con Freitas?
No, a mí ahorita no me interesa pelear con él. Él es el que tiene que pelear, porque yo ahorita me siento como soy uno de los primeros pelear por libra. Quiero pelear con Morales, Barrera. A mí no me interesa a mí.
He says, you know, he's one of the best head fighters pound for pound in the world right now. That's the reason we took the Corrales fight. You know, Freitas hasn't been fighting anybody, you know. Hey, well, now we can give him the opportunity because the fans know we're the best 130-pounder in the world, pound for pound.
Congratulations. It was a great fight to watch.
Thank you.
Back down to you, Steve.
Jim, perhaps poetic justice for Joel Casamayor after he thought he was robbed in the loss to Acelino Freitas. Now it's Diego Corrales who feels slighted after the controversial stoppage after round number 6.
Joel Casamayor, unlike any other performance we've seen in top fights, was able to put together not only his boxing skills but also power. There is the power coming from Joel Casamayor in round 3. In round 4, he continued to show power with the straight left hand, and Corrales, supposed to be the puncher, did here get the left hook in. When Casamayor had him hurt, he would come in and square himself up more, and that would make the left hook available to Corrales. This man put it together better in this performance in many ways than ever before.
A fight of major significance in boxing's junior lightweight division. The former WBA titleist Joel Casamayor prevails over former IBF champ Diego Corrales. As you check the judges' scorecards at the time of the stoppage, all three had it in favor of Joel Casamayor. 4 points, 2 points, and 3 points. And the press row scores saw it in similar fashion. All three had Casamayor ahead.
You know, what we saw here was the kind of preparation that they told us he had undergone. They were absolutely correct. This was a fighter, and you see his trainer, Joe Goosen, who shares the credit. He came here ready to get the job done, and he did.
A very exciting fight and a tremendous night for the Cuban, Joel Casamayor. Let's go back up to Nick Charles.
Thank you, Steve and Al. Time for them to catch their breath. Wow, what a view you guys had. But even from up here, Steve Farhood, I was absolutely amazed at Casamayor in terms of his condition, the way he saw the punches coming. But most of all, as you hinted at the beginning of the show, the role reversal. He turned into an out-and-out slugger at times.
Well, he did. He couldn't miss with the left hand, Nick. Casamayor found that, and he was leading. And what Corrales found with time is that his counter left hook was the answer. That's the punch he scored his knockdown with. So it was a little bit of role reversal. Casamayor deserved the lead he had on the cards and on Al's card, but Corrales was very much in this fight even at the end.
Fourth round, possible round of the year candidate in that. You saw Diego Corrales obviously dazed, bewildered, hurt, will himself up. It was a last stand effort and suddenly, dramatically pull himself back into the fight with one punch. But after that, I gave almost every round to Casamayor. And my question to you is, they weren't talking about a rematch, but would boxing fans clamor for one?
I'm talking about a rematch. That's what I want to see. The division is fantastic. You'd like to see a rematch with Freitas for Casamayor, of course. But this fight was very much up in the air because of Corrales' power. You know, he found the ticket. Now, he was losing, and he might have gotten knocked out by a left hook, by a left hand of Casamayor, but he was very much in the fight. And, of course, he was outraged by the stoppage. Why wouldn't he be? Don't forget that Corrales was outraged after getting knocked down, 6 times by Mayweather?
5 times.
And his father stopped the fight, and he never talked to his father again. So I guess he'll never talk to Dr. Margaret Goodman again.
I can't quite believe it'd be boxing oblivion now for Diego Corrales, only 26 years old, but he will have to get back in line because Joel Casamayor is the man right now, one of the guys certainly, at 130. But now to the subject of a